What's up, everybody? Hopefully, you're all getting some time on the water, having some fun, and practicing your skills. This is a bunch of raw video, and just gonna talk and give some pointers about a little bit of everything: wave riding, tacks, jibes. But first thing I wanted to mention was I like using a board when the waves are onshore and short period, which are quite often in the Great Lakes, well, all the time. I weigh about 75 kilos, which is 75 liters or about 170 pounds. And I like that size of board just because it's easy and quick to get up to onto your feet, and also there's a lot of benefits when the waves are onshore. You can on a low volume board, you can't really paddle out on it, and on that size of board, you can paddle out past the sandbar or past the breaking waves and get to where you need. And I just find getting up on foil on that size of board is a much quicker thing to do compared to a low volume board. The wind conditions were side shore. It started off quite gusty, like 5 knots up to like 15, and then it picked up and went onshore. But as I ride the waves, oh, here's a cool thing I've been playing around is going up into the wind with it and doing a 360 going back into the waves. Just a fun little thing. But holding the wing dragging behind, I find, is the best way to manage the wing while you're riding a wave. It stays away from you compared to maybe right here when I do the bottom turn. You have to switch your hand, and right there, yeah, if you can keep the wing behind you, if it's not super windy, your board speed matches the speed of the wing, and then it can just drag behind you, and it's a lot easier to manage compared to if it's really windy. When you switch your hand right there, that's when it usually blinds you, blocks your view of the water in front of you, and it's just usually where I wipe out if you're in a critical situation. Right there, switching your hands. That's kind of tricky to do, and it's cumbersome, I find. That's another reason for the downwind foiling. Full freedom. There's no managing the wind whatsoever. Also, when you're riding a wave and it's like side shore, it's beneficial to kind of almost be going upwind so you can easily flag that wing out. And then it kind of stays out of your way, like right there. It's very easy to manage. But switching around once again, the wing when it goes back and forth, it is a little bit trickier. But there's also a lot of benefits to the winging. Like, you can just rocket upwind so fast and go over the whitewash usually as well. And it's just like a chairlift ride back out to the waves, and you can just keep on doing laps and laps and laps, which is really fun. Don't have to manage a vehicle, dropping off, start and finish at the same destination, so that's a big benefit as well. Coming up here, I'm going over a sandbar where the waves always break, and it's a little tricky going over steep waves or going through the whitewash. Here it comes, right here. Some things I always keep in mind when I'm doing that is be really light on your feet. If you can get the wing up high and you have a lot of power, get the wing up high over your head. And as you're hitting that whitewash, you can give a little backhand pressure or give yourself a little bit more lift, and almost do like you're gonna switch your feet for a tack or jibe, and just keep really light on your feet and just get over that whitewash. Light on your feet and lots of power in the wing, and you should be able to glide right over it. Also, that's when tacking and jibing or switching your feet, same kind of principle, is just really light on your feet as you go in and keep your wing up high. You can use your wing to your advantage and get a little pressure off your feet. And as you do that, it's like almost a little quick ollie before you go into the tack or the jibe. So while doing a tack, I find tacks more difficult than a jibe, but some things I keep in mind. There's a good one I just did was go into the turn or your tack with a lot of speed. And I always like to keep my foil about mid-mast in the water, almost on the higher side to kind of give it less friction, and you can always bring it down and give yourself a little bit more speed. Also, an attack with the wing in your hands as you're going into the wind and doing the turn itself. Don't give it any backhand pressure, like almost be pushing the wing forward and down. Think of that in your head, and then the wing will not be working against you. It'll just luff throughout your tack, and then as you've gone through the wind, you can get your hands back in the position. But sometimes when I was learning them, like I'd still be holding on with my backhand, and it would be slowing me down. It would be working against it. So if you can just use your front hand, only your front hand, and keep it fully luffed out throughout that tack, and then get your hands onto it when you need that power. That should keep your momentum, and lots of speed into the tack as well helps. So right now I did a jibe, and this is the easiest way to get onto the wave. You've already turned, you're riding up wind, and you're looking for a good wave. And you just bear off, grab the front handle, and boom, you're on the wave. And this is just a great example of the foil right here. Like these waves are nothing to speak of, and I haven't used the wing here at all. No power. This is all just gliding, just surfing, riding the waves. So the foil, once again, is so much fun. So tack is coming up here. I'm looking for some speed. Also not looking for a smooth spot of water, not where I'm going to be going into any big waves, and keeping my speed up high and making the wing not work against me. Right here, another great example of the foil. Awesome, can pump through those lulls, but the wing's doing absolutely nothing here. And just looking for a good one to line up. And right now I'm slightly going into the wind. And that's really easy to manage your wing when you're going slightly into the wind. When I did the turn, I guess I was going fast enough that my board speed met the wind speed, and then I can get the wing behind me. But I'm not switching my hands, and that makes it easier to manage the kite and does not block your view. So one thing I've been thinking of recently when I'm riding waves and doing actual turns, not just kind of straight lining it going down the wave, is just my foot placement, making sure my feet are in the right spot of the board. It really makes a difference if they're not balanced. Sometimes you can pull the turns off for the maneuvers, even though your feet aren't in the optimal position. But it just makes it harder. If you get your feet just in that right comfortable spot, it does make a big difference. Also, when I'm turning on waves, it seems like when I'm progressing or just kind of started riding the waves, I was more standing upright and just going straight down the waves. Now I'm trying to really do a lot of turns and up and down the face of the waves, and your stance, your whole body position. I think you can do more aggressive turns when you have more bent knees and you're not standing so up straight. So just kind of, getting in a more lower stance, keeping your body weight lower will make you more stable, and thus you can do more advanced turns or aggressive turns, I should say. I think that helps. So while you're riding the waves, it's always super important you want to be kind of on the top part of the wave, always the down slope, never in the trough or trying to go up the back of the wave. That'll kill your speed right away. So it really helps if you can manage your wing well and keep right on the down slope, the steep part of the wave, to keep your energy up and be able to do some turns on the waves, and you can stay where the energy is and not use the wing as much. Coming up here, I do a tack and then I switch my feet. And when switching your feet, you want to do almost a little ollie. So you give a little bit of back foot pressure, and right after that, as the board is going up, you do a quick switch of the feet, and you can almost think your back foot first, then put your back foot exactly right beside your front foot, and then quickly move your front foot to the back. And you can almost practice that on land. Yeah, switching your feet around in flat water is a good way to practice. When you're in any chop or waves, it adds a difficulty to anything. But yeah, you just want to bring that board up quick, light on your feet, wing up high, and make it a quick transition on your feet, really quick. So those are just some of the things I'm working on and thinking of myself. Hopefully you all getting out there in this region. It's prime time. Actually, it hasn't been too windy this September, but we have a ways to go. The wetsuits are so good now. Lots of time to be out riding, and this is the most underutilized playground, the Great Lakes. So much ways to have fun, and it's amazing. I always compare it to skiing, and I think this is just so much better. No lineups, full action. It's just amazing. The wing is like a chairlift up, and then it's just play the whole way downwind. So go out there, have some fun. Hope you're all getting some, and have a great day. Thanks a lot.